Hey guys, Ultimate Deadpool here. This video is going to be a little bit different than some of my other ones. As you guys can tell, there's a bunch of characters in front of you. This video is going to be a major trip down memory lane for both me and you guys who have been around since the original Ultimate Deadpool channel. So in front of me are some of my very first characters that I ever created or customized, designed, or whatever, and then from the very first original designs up into the more modern day ones that I've done within the last few weeks. Be sure to watch this video to the end because there's going to be a very important update towards the end. So I'm going to try to make this video as short as possible. But definitely make sure you stick around to the very end because you will not want to miss a quick important update. I stress important, but it's actually just a new prop for the upcoming Cyber Turtle movies and shorts and stuff like that that is going to be coming out soon. So without further ado, let's jump right into things. Alright, so these were the first 4 minifigures that I ever customized. Now, Superman was the very first custom or Lego enhanced upgrade or whatever, or Lego upgraded figure. And literally the only thing I did was I took a Man of Steel Superman, painted the boots and wrist gauntlets on, and that was it. And from that started a trend which led us up to the latest minifigure. We'll get to that in a little bit. Bizarro was the first custom painted first custom painted character, and I took a Man of Steel design and painted it so that way it looked more like Bizarro. Gave him a purple cape, purple boots. I think, yeah, even his back has got some painting on there. It had a paper cape, so that's why the cape is like super duper stiff. And then when I finally did learn how to create my own designs, the first actual custom printed minifigure was a Stormtrooper. I don't remember what happened to that, but the first custom design that I ever made was Death. So for those of you who don't know that, that was the first ever really custom designed character. Everything else beforehand was taken off the internet, printed off, and glued onto a Lego character. This, however, was the very first original design that I did. I don't even remember what it was modeled after. I don't even remember why I gave him the Scarlet Spider head. Now, keep in mind, this is not the original head. This is actually from the Last Stand Spider-Man that I recently just finished. Because I don't remember what happened to the original head. But the torso design is the exact same thing. So this and the legs, the arms, the hands, all of this is the original character or original design that was used back when I first designed this original character. The only thing that's not original is the head. And even then, it was still a Scarlet Spider head that was used when I designed this character, literally probably 5.5 years ago. Same thing on his back. The back is the exact same design. Nothing has changed on this. I have not upgraded it in any way, shape, or form. The only thing I did upgrade was the head, only because I couldn't find the original one. But other than that, these 3 is what set off, everything to the modern Ultimate Deadpool channel stuff. And I apologize if I sound like I'm going to cry at the end of this video, because I have a feeling I am, because this is an emotional journey for me. So this was the first, I guess you could say, extreme custom character I did, because back then I did not have the original Legos Deadpool. So I had to make my own, and I found a couple of designs that I liked, but none of them really worked for me. So I designed this, and this is definitely the original design from 6 years ago, or basically 5.5 years ago. And it has not, just like Death, has not been changed in any way, shape, or form. The head is a custom that I had found online. That was added several months after this design was made. But the arms are the original, the hands are original, the legs are original, the torso design is all the same. Not one thing has been changed from this character. The only thing I think I did was I upgraded the back of an existing minifigure, but even then, that has not changed in basically the 5 years that this character has been in my collection of custom minifigs. So for those of you who want a nice, lovely, actual fun history lesson, this was the first ever custom minifigure I ever did. This one was the first successfully painted figure, and then these two were the biggest leaps in custom designing, even though this one was an original design and this one wasn't. This one especially is what started all of the detail work, all of the every individual piece being designed to its fullest. And then from these characters came this character. So some of you may remember this one from the original Ultimate Deadpool channel. This was the X-Men's Deadpool that I designed. Now again, the arms, the body, and the back are custom designs. The only thing I did not design on this was the legs, and back then it was the head. This is actually a redesign for the Stingray character. One of the mercs for money that I haven't used. And there's a good reason behind that. The original head that I used was actually used for Stingray later, so technically this is actually the original head that was used. But back then I couldn't tell. When I found the design, I found a comic book picture of this Deadpool on the internet. I took that and put it on Microsoft Word document, and then designed this minifigure off of that design, off of that picture. It wasn't easy. I'm sorry, I'm emotional right now. This character has by far been one of my favorite ones that I've ever designed. That is why it has not appeared in any video ever. This has never been in any stop motion ever. The only video it has ever appeared in was the first ever minifigures made in minutes video, or one of the first ones that I did on the original Ultimate Deadpool channel. This character has not seen the camera in at least 4 years. 4 to 4.5 years. So the fact that it's still in this good condition is outstanding. There's some wear and tear up here on the shoulder piece up here. I do remember that the back printing did get torn. So this is a perfect example of how these things are made of paper. A lot of you guys do not believe me when I say that, but originally the back printing was basic generic design, just like the front was, and a lot of my characters were like that when I first started designing these things. They were just basic designs. But then ever since I did the evil Deadpool design, now I don't remember what I did with my evil Deadpool, but just know that one was definitely one of the most time-consuming ones, because that took at least 4 hours to design. But ever since the evil Deadpool, I have put more and more effort into designing the characters to make them look the way they should in my head, and that's also where my perfectionism came into place. So all my life-size characters and everything else, evil Deadpool is what started that trend of getting them perfect and not stopping until they are. It's a curse, but it definitely does work. So all of that started from both this figure and the evil Deadpool figure, which I have misplaced. I do not remember what happened to it. If I do find it, it'll be in a video at some point again. But just know that this figure has never been in any stop motion whatsoever, because of how much I treasured it when I designed it. This was one of those characters that I say, I designed that, I made it with my own hands. So the fact that it has survived this long is truly amazing. So let's go on to the next time jump, I guess you could say. Now, it's no secret that I'm a big fan of Freddy Krueger. So these are actually all the design choices in chronological order. This was the very first one that I designed. The arms have been upgraded. The arms are the only thing that have been changed, as well as the side printing on the body. The rest of this figure is the original Freddy Krueger that I did, and I don't even know why I changed it. The face is designed from the 2010s remake. Back then, when I designed the character, I did not realize that that face was off of that horrible movie. But the glove was actually a big game changer for the Ultimate Deadpool channel. And not for the reasons that you think, because I had looked at custom Freddy Kruegers online, and every single one of them had Wolverine claws for the Freddy glove, and then this is where, you know, evil Deadpool's perfectionism came into place. That's only 3 blades, and Freddy Krueger has 4. So I took the tops of 4 sewing pins and I cut them off at the top. If it'll focus it. Okay, you guys get the gist of it. I took the sewing pins and I super glued them onto a brown minifigure hand. These were a little bit shorter. Later they did get longer. But this is the original Freddy Krueger that I ever did. And then from that, I wanted to keep pushing my design abilities farther. So the next version of Freddy hasn't appeared in a whole lot of videos, but he did appear in parts of Krueger 2 and stuff like that. This has the updated Freddy glove. It has the original, or the second version of the Mustafar Anakin Skywalker burnt face, as well as the hand. This one has been slightly damaged since then, because in the Krueger 2 original, he gets stabbed in the chest, and I needed to make sure that that actually looked right. So this character just has a hole in his chest. But this was the first Freddy Krueger that had the bent arms for the sleeves. Originally on this one, they were all straight lines, just like the sweater, or just like the body, and it did not look right. So I redesigned them, and now every single Freddy Krueger since has had the bent arms, or the bent designs on the arms ever since. Now keep in mind that none of the torso designs are original. These were plucked straight from the internet, but the rest of the designs on these characters are original, with the exception of the first one's face. So this one's face is not original. Neither is the torso design, but the arms and inner parts of the sweater are. This one you guys may recognize from the Krueger movie, which has the newest Mustafar Anakin Skywalker burnt face. It has another slight upgrade to the glove. It's the exact same design as the other one. It has the 2010s Freddy Krueger sweater, the same upgraded striping decals on the side, and same thing on the back. So nothing too major. These are all the Freddy Kruegers basically led up to this one, which is what I call the Masterpiece Krueger, because this is a perfect representation of what Robert Englund's portrayal in the Nightmare on Elm Street films looks like. The face is perfect, the sweater is perfect, the glove is perfect, and even the back printing and stuff and small details like that is perfect. So all of these characters do have a meaning. I'm not just rambling on about these for nothing. Each one of these has been a huge contribution to the modern day Ultimate Deadpool stuff, despite what most people may think. So let's go ahead and keep moving on. So following the success of this Freddy Krueger came my first successful Jason Voorhees. Now it has been changed since the original. The original one I did was I think it was the 2009's remake, which wasn't a bad movie, but it wasn't a great movie. But this one was technically my first successful Jason. A lot of people have asked me how I did the pillowcase thing. That is literally just a piece of cloth with a bunch of rope wrapped around it, tied off on the end, and cut off. So it gives it the same pillowcase look. The torso design is a very basic one. It's just a standard, Jason Voorhees from Part 2 design that you can actually find online, or used to be able to find online. Basic blue jeans, and the backside was actually a custom farmer that has a few color changes to it, and that's nothing more than that. And this character has been with me for about 3 years, but this is when a lot of things really started to hit more towards important details and stuff like that. And again, we'll get all into this in the next two characters, which was my first custom designed Jason. Now this was not actually the first one. The first real customized design was Part 7's, but I don't remember what happened to that design. Just know that this one was basically modeled after that. So it still had the generic rib cage and stuff, just like the actual Part 7's Jason design. It had the bone fingers, just like it did in the movie, as well as the kneecap showing and the back showing. So that Part 7 design did pay a lot of, I tried to pay as much respect to it when I designed this figure. So if you look really close, you can see the heart behind the rib cage, as well as the actual rib cage and skeleton knee, as well as the skeleton arm. So I did try to keep it as close to the 2007's design while also maintaining originality. And this was by far, at the time, was the most time-consuming design I had ever done. And from this character is what started really intricate detail work on Paint 3D, which is the app that I use to get the amount of detail that I get into these things now. Especially, you may recognize some of that work in the wonderful Deadpool Red Brick series, where Deadpool goes to a Mad Max type future. This design was a Freddy Krueger face, Deadpool head combo, with some extra red showing Deadpool's actual face, because the actual Freddy Krueger face did not have any of that on there, as well as a couple of other blood splats here and there, and the modified Ant-Man arms, modified Batman legs, and everything from that is all started from this Jason here. The Phenomenal Four the newest elemental characters that I did, they had those were designed in the same app. Rocksteady was the same thing. All of the major characters all of the characters that I've designed within the last few weeks have been designed through Paint 3D, and not one of them would be possible without this Jason's hard work. So it's really kind of cool to go back and see, you know, what started all the modern Ultimate Deadpool custom Lego figures. Now we're going to go ahead and skip to the modern day stuff, and these are the ones that I've done within the last few days or weeks or whatever you want to call them. So these are by the latest 4 if you want to go ahead and get Skeletor or Rocksteady. So these 4 are some of the most detailed figures I will probably ever do. Now, what's funny about them is some of the designs are so simple, it's ridiculous. Like Skeletor is not a very detailed character, but he has enough details to call him one of the best characters I've done, because if you look at a picture of Skeletor from the show and you look at this, it's really close. Especially the head underneath was actually modeled after the original toy. I've said that in a couple of videos, but the rest of the design is not original, with the exception of the left side of this, with the exception of the left side of the body and the blue recoloring. Oh, and by the way, he does actually have the right colored hands this time. Those finally did come in. He does not have any back printing yet. But again, it's simple enough to be faithful to the original, but it also does have a massive Ultimate Deadpool flair with taking a regular skull that Lego has designed and recoloring it to look like Skeletor. Rocksteady is the same way. You know, I did not design the torso or the legs, but the face I did design. And no, there's not actually supposed to be a smiley face there. I just added that because it looks really creepy with just 2 eyes when the rhinoceros helmet is off. But again, this is a character that you can look at and be immediately like, oh, I know who that is, and presto. This version of Jason Voorhees was heavily designed after the previous one that I had designed. For instance, you know, the rib cage showing. You can, if you look very carefully or very closely, it is very hard to see it this time, but there is a heart behind the rib cage here. And this was the alternative face that I had designed for it, so when Jason gets unmasked, this is what's underneath it. And this explains more of the skull behind the mask better than the actual mask Jason does. So I may end up changing that at some point, but for now this is going to have to do. So again, this is not a very detailed design, and it's by far not one of my best ones yet. But the face on this one is not bad. That is a modified Two-Face face from the Dark Knight trilogy, of all things. So this half was originally Two-Face. Both halves were Two-Face, so I could get the gray design and the blood and everything else on that side. Then they were both heavily modified to look more like a zombie. And on this unmasked face, it looks better than what the actual hockey mask look is. At some point, I will design arm printing, hand printing, and leg printing. But for now, that's not a bad version of Jason Voorhees as an original design, because Jason has never looked like this or like this, but this does have elements from part 7. And then Ash Williams is the latest minifigure I've designed, and I did change the face. I did not like the face that was on the Ash Williams that I had. or I did not like the face that was on there. The face was too big, so I did do this one, and I think it does look better. Most likely, whenever he's on video, he'll have the original Ash Williams head, but he does now have arm printing, and even then, this design was custom made, and I said this on my last video. It was custom made, but it was not free-handed. I did find a really nice Lego Ash Williams, or custom Lego Ash Williams, and I had that right next to the on the screen while I designed this design, or this torso, off of Michael Myers, of all things, which is actually what the original Ash Williams was. And then I went ahead and redesigned the chainsaw while I was at it, because I figured it's going to be an entirely new character. And then the hair piece is the same piece that I used for Spider-Man, but will end up needing to get a new hair piece like that. But then the back is original. So it's really funny to go back in time and look at these four here and compare them with these four here. So it's really cool to see how far the Ultimate Deadpool custom characters have come from these four figures here to the newest ones that I've done within the last few weeks. So it is kind of funny to see where they were and how far they've come. So I hope that this video was a fun type of educational. I realize school can be a drag sometimes, but this was a video designed to shed some light on my past, as well as give you guys some insight of personal problems on putting certain characters in videos. So anyway, that's basically it for this video. I did not cover everything, but I covered the basics. So long story short, these four, especially these two, is what started all the modern Ultimate Deadpool minifigures. So for those of you who even care, I appreciate that. For those of you who don't, I don't blame you. So anyway, thank you guys so much for watching. I hope you guys enjoyed the video, and I will see you guys all next time on Ultimate Deadpool. Peace out. You guys are awesome. I will see you guys all later. Bye. Okay, I got too caught up in a sad moment, or emotional moment, when I was filming this video. So for those of you who stuck around this long, I do appreciate it. So I guess it's only fair that I reveal a new prop for future videos. And no, this is obviously not it. So since I created the Cyber Turtles, this has been the Cyber Turtle truck, which is not bad. But this truck is going to become an exclusive vehicle for Metalhead to drive. So Metalhead will actually be the driver of this truck, while the Cyber Turtles are going to be driving this. Now this is a modified Michael Bay's Ninja Turtles party van that was taken apart by my brother multiple times, and has been completely redesigned into this behemoth of a machine. So the side doors do still open. Eventually they will have machine gun turrets or anything like that on them and stuff like that. It does have a battering ram on the front, and it does still have a Ninja Turtle-esque feel. The back is a little bit plain, so it's very rarely ever going to be shown. But there's enough intricate detail work on this truck or van to make it a Cyber Turtles truck. And since the Ninja Turtles actually do still have the battle shell, which is this one here, which is actually missing a small piece here, but that's an easy fix. So anyway, this was the Ninja Turtles battle shell. This is the Cyber Turtles version of the battle shell, and this is now Metalhead's personal truck. That's basically it for this video. I hope you guys enjoyed. For those of you who have stuck around this long, thank you guys so much for watching. I hope you guys enjoyed, and I'll catch you guys later. Bye.